Welcome to part 2 of our Dry Ridge System how-to video, where we show you how to fix and finish the taper ridge and butt ridge systems. Before the ridge roll can be applied, ensure that the roof is free and clean of dust and debris. Marley explains how to create a straight line for ridge roll application.
Marley, I see that you are doing these markings here. What is the reason for that?
This is basically just to give you a guideline when you're going to fix your dry ridge roll. It's going to make it in one straight line and not going to give you this wave effect because it's only going to stick out just slightly. Yes. So you just want this for just aesthetic reasons. Looking neat. Yes.
I must say, you're taking time to make sure it looks nice and neat. Okay, you can see that we have now placed the ridge roll on top of the ridge, and as per Marley's lines, we want to make sure that when we stick it down, we keep to these lines here. So something that we just need to mention in terms of the ridge roll before you stick it down is when you come to the end of your gable, make sure you pull the ridge roll a little bit forward so that you've got a little bit more space, so that you can make sure that you can actually fasten it right underneath. This will make sure that this is nice and secure and watertight. So once you've done that, you can nail at the top. You'll also see that there is a little bit of play here at the top. So in other words, your ridge roll doesn't need to be pulled tight. So rather than try and keep to your lines so that it looks nice and neat. So before rolling it out, you can then secure the first part of the ridge roll with a nail and then roll it out and then stick it down as you continue. The other important thing to remember is when you get to the end of your ridge roll, you need to do a join. Just ensure that your join is 150 mil on both sides. The same happens at junctions. Make sure 150 mil overlap on each side. Okay, let's begin.
Once you are happy with the position of the ridge roll, overlaps and have nailed it, start by peeling away the butyl strip in small sections, pressing down against your guideline. Continue until you have reached the end of the ridge roll and then switch to the opposite side. For hips, strike a line to create a guideline for sticking. Once nailed and once overlaps have been established, stick down the ridge roll as per previous steps in small sections, taking extra care where the tiles step down to the next row by allowing enough of the butyl corrugation to stretch and fit snugly over the contour of the tile. Once all ridge rolls have been installed, we can proceed with the installation of ridge and hip tiles. For gable ends, start by positioning the first taper ridge tile at the gable end. Now place the first S-clip underneath the tile. Keeping the position of the S-clip, remove the ridge tile and secure the S-clip by screwing through the 2 holes provided. Once secured, slide the ridge tiles into the S-shaped hook of the S-clip. Continue with the next clip and tile as per the first step until you reach the end of the gable or junction. For hips, start by drilling 2 holes through the hip starter. Secure by screwing the hip starter into the batten below. Now place the first S-clip into position and secure by screwing through the 2 holes provided and sliding the first taper ridge into position. Continue up the hip following the same process until you reach the junction. For gable ends, start by positioning the first butt ridge tile at the gable end. Now slide the first butt ridge connector underneath the tile and another one at the end of the tile. Once you are happy with the position, screw in place with a 90mm screw. Continue with this process until you reach the end of the gable or junction. Rake Verge tiles and junctions are mitered and cut as per the standard installation practices, with the only exception being that these tiles are to be drilled and secured by means of screwing. Once fitted, junctions and rake verge tiles can be left as is, or some mortar can be used to improve the finish of these tiles. That concludes Marley Dry Ridge System. Before we go, just a special thanks to PRAWA, where this video was shot. To learn more about PRAWA, click on the link in the description below. See you again in the next video, where we will cover the rake verge installation.